Alright guys, guess what? Back again with another video here, and I apologize for spamming your guys' video feed here, but thought there's something else I haven't shown you guys, and as you maybe are about to see, it is in the arcade room, and that's a third candy cab. So picked this up earlier in the week, and it is a 29-inch Namco Exceleena II, and yeah, just a really good-looking cab. Some couple of interesting things on it that I'll like to share with you in this video, and maybe just give a quick rundown of you know, the machines and how they're kind of set up, because I know that there's a lot of stuff on Astro Cities and Blast Cities, but maybe not so much on the Neo-Geo 25, and certainly not very much on the Exceleena II. And let's just talk a little more about this one here. So the Namco Exceleenas, there were two of them. The first one is a really cool looking machine. It's a lot wider, and it actually has cup holders and two speakers kind of protruding out with these kind of molded rubber sides on either side of it. And you know, it probably didn't mesh well with arcades in Japan, you know, with limited space, needing to kind of, you know, slide them right next to each other like this, because like I said, it had these big rubber sides. So this is the second Exceleena model that has the more, you know, traditional straight flat sides there. But from what I can tell, the Exceleena 2s were all red. So where mine is blue, that would all be a red color. And this was actually painted by someone, not me, but in the past. So you can kind of see just where that light is hitting it. You know, he did a fair job painting it, but there's you know, some imperfections with the paint job. And I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I mean, it's on there pretty thick, and certainly it doesn't look, you know, awful, but I mean, should I bother trying to get all the blue off this and go back to the original red plastic, or you know, try repainting it? Be interested to hear what you guys think. But anyways, so if you do see an Exceleena 2, what I'm getting at here is that it's most likely not going to be blue like this one. It's going to be red. And cool thing about this cab is that it is you know, a bit taller. So let me just see if I can show you. If I get in the level of the control panels, you can see that the Neo-Geo and the Astro City are pretty much, you know, at the same height. And you can see down at the end, the Exceleena 2 is a bit higher than those. So it is kind of an interesting playing position. You can also see that the angle that the screens are tilted at, you can see on the Candy here, it's a pretty deep angle, a little less extreme with the Astro, and then with the Exceleena, it's actually tilted much further up. So as you sit down at this cab, you know, you're sitting, you know, a little lower than you would be on the Astro, and the, you know, screen is kind of tilted up a little bit further up, so you really do get to see you know, all of the screen fairly well, and it really makes for a really nice playing position for shooting games, especially to be able to see the entire, full-size screen, whereas over here, some of it, down low, it's a little harder to see, kind of looking up and down. This one, I can kind of, keep my head at the same spot. Anyways, just a little observation. But there are things about this cab that I say aren't as convenient or easy as the Neo-Geo or the Astro City. And what I'll do here is I'll just pause and I'll show you, demonstrate what I'm talking about. Okay, so what I've done is I've unlocked the control panels on the Astro and the Neo-Geo, and just to kind of show you, with it here, you have the daughter board monitor adjustments kind of right there, and this is a Nano MS8, and you can see I haven't really washed these out too well, and the same with over here. This one's a little dirtier, but with this one you can see the control panel flips out and you can actually lift the monitor shroud, I guess, and it has a kind of a latch there that keeps it open. And then down here you can see those are the monitor adjustments. So you kind of take a flashlight and a long screwdriver, you can access them there. Still pretty easy. Now with the Exceleena, you have to open the door and reach way down in, and there's a like a lever latch, and you open that, and then you have to pull out and up like that, and then the whole top comes off like this. And that, I think, is a little more complicated, but okay. So you can see this is the original color on the bottom. So it used to be all this red plastic, so it was kind of a big red handicap. Whoops. Jack. He doesn't like it. Shh. Sorry, guys. Jack. Alright. Time to leave. Okay, now that Jack has left the building, so one thing you'll notice here is there's no monitor adjustments at all, and that's because we have to take off the bezel first, and this is kind of a pain because every time you switch out a board, the monitor is going to be a little bit off. It's going to need adjusting. And that's the thing about arcade PCBs is they're all kind of put their juices in a little different spots. Every one of them is kind of unique that way. So to do this, we need to take a screwdriver, and we need to take these two screws out and take the bezel off. And maybe I'll just do that really quickly here. Not a huge deal, but it does slow you down a little bit, and makes you think twice about popping out a board and popping in another one, which I don't necessarily do that often, because if I put a board in, I'd like to keep it there and practice it for a while. But okay, so I've taken the screws out, and I'm just lifting on the bottom, and then, oops, lift here, lift up top, and out she goes. Okay, so here we have this monitor, which I believe is a Nano MS9, which is considered to be a little bit better of a chassis than the MS8 that's in my Astro. And it has, this is where the little monitor adjustments are, and they're these like little tiny potentiometers. They'll take a small Phillips head screwdriver very small, and you want to be careful because you know, they don't take a lot to turn. You don't want to put a huge screwdriver in there and, you know, raunch on them. You want to make kind of very small, delicate adjustments with those. You know, don't push in too hard. Don't, you know, none of that's necessary. Just very delicate with those. And one cool thing about this that I haven't really figured out yet, but from what I've read online, there is a rotation mechanism in this Exceleena. And what I mean by rotation mechanism is there's part of the frame that the monitor is resting on will actually, basically it makes it easier to rotate the monitor. For example, with this, I have to take out I would have to take out these screws, take this bezel off, which is harder to take off than that one, I will say. And then there's bolts here, here, here. Take those off, and then, you know, with all your strength, lift out the whole monitor, twist it, and put it back, and hopefully you don't have a hernia. So I guess the theory behind this one is you take out the bolts that are securing the monitor here to the chassis. I'm sorry, to the cab. These ones, probably not these ones, because that looks like it's holding the tube itself. So there's 4 of those. Hold on to those, maybe put them there, and then it has these handles, and you lift out, and I guess there's a big kind of, you know, steel rod that kind of stays in this hole that kind of holds the other end of the tube for you, and then you kind of twist it the other way, and that's the rotation mechanism on this one. Not as graceful supposedly as like things like the Tato Egret 2, which supposedly you can do with one hand, but maybe a little easier than what you have to do on the Astros and the Blast Cities. This one doesn't have a rotation mechanism, but will rotate. You can see there, again, you're going to want to take it off where it's, you know, yeah, you're going to take it off like here, and then you're going to lift the whole thing out and put it in. You can see where it has the extra space up top here for it to be in vertical, and then you're also going to have to excuse me, you're also going to have to undo the bezel on the inside, this black piece, and switch that around so that it's going the right way. And you do the same thing with this. When you take this out, this whole piece comes out. This has kind of like a ton and groove thing on the side, so you have to kind of wiggle it out and it pops out, and then you unscrew the bezel here, flip that around once you've rotated the monitor behind it. So anyways, yeah, so not as easy to make you know, monitor adjustments on the Exceleena. It does have a great monitor. The MS9 looks really sharp, and you know, the control panel is a little funny. You see it has little slots here, you can see those, and then over here you can see here it has you know, the tons to go in. So you have to line it up on each side. There's one there, 2 here, and there's holes here, and there's hooks for those on the back end of the control panel. Oh, let's see which side I got. Yeah, you can see this thing right here. So you fit them into each slot on each side so that they're both flush, and then you kind of lift up on the back and slot it into these here, and the whole thing snaps shut. And then you can see the lever lock here, which is actually a piece of plastic that's kind of being grinded away here as every time it happens, so that's not so great. But yeah, a little more complicated than in that regard. This monitor, this arcade cab does have volume control down at the bottom. It's pretty nice. You can control the left and right speakers. in the volume that comes out, and you know, it has like the normal things like you know, test mode, test switch, and service credits and that sort of thing. But yeah, so just a quick overview of kind of the nuts and bolts of some of the these cabs that I own. And I have to say my favorite is still the Neo Candy. It's just got a really sharp little 25-inch monitor, and it's just a super crisp image. And part of that's a smaller monitor, but part of it's just, I think the condition of it is so good. They do make a Neo Candy that has a topper with illuminated mini marquee spots, which I'd really love to get my hands on, because I love mini marquees. But this one is just, you know, you can put any arcade flyer in there, like something like this. And I do have the marquee topper for this, the original one, which is, you know, it looks pretty, something similar to that. It's just kind of a sheet of plexi, but I want to kind of recondition that a little bit because it's a little scuffed up. So anyways, so yeah, let me cut here and we'll put them back together, and we can just kind of show them one last time all assembled. Just one more quick thing on, I thought you might like to see what buttons and sticks I'm using in these cabs before I lock them up. So this one had a pretty good condition Famitsu LS32. So I actually, all I did with this is I changed the ball tops because I had some extra unused green and pink ball tops. And then I also put in some Sanwa OBSF 30 RGs. And the difference between these and normal Sanwa buttons is that these have the ultra long life and resilient micro switches on them, and they feel a little bit, I don't know, they feel really nice, I think, and they're supposed to last a whole lot longer than you know, they're going to be more resilient than I will ever need. You know, they're meant for, you know, a million plays basically. And then these are just two of the original little Sanwa 24mm buttons, which they're kind of gunky, but haven't really gotten to those yet. These ones I have Famitsu LS44s, a little different. I like them. I think they have a little bit less of a activation or throw distance than the 32. This one's kind of a mess because I'm always switching out the kick harness and stuff, because I use this for Neo-Geo and Street Fighter games a lot, and yeah, need to tidy this up a lot because boy, that does not look good. But you know, you do so much that you can. And this one has Famitsu screw-ins and the LS55, or I think actually this is the LS58 joystick. Okay, back in a second. Alright guys, I won't go too much longer here, but here they are all back together. And yeah, it's looking like a real arcade in my little extra bedroom here. And I think I can fit two more. What do you think? Anyways, alright, I'm going to go now. So let me know what you think. Would you leave well enough alone, or would you, you know, go ahead and try and strip this to see what's underneath the blue paint? You know, that red plastic might be full of cigarette burns and what have you, but, you know, it really doesn't look too bad, but I don't know. This could be a curiosity killed the cat situation. But yeah, curious to know what you guys, you know, if you had this blue cab, what you would do. Would you bring it back to the old red that it used to be, or would you leave it alone, or would you try and repaint it to take care of some of the really minor blemishes? But anyways, not that my other cabs are perfect, as you just saw with that embarrassing, you know, mess that's inside this control panel. But you know, this one I could retrobrite. I have the stuff for that, but I haven't really had time or gumption to do that. And this one's been knocked around. This is the one that had the, you know, almost sank in the Pacific with a rolled container. So it's got some scuffs and stuff, but yeah. All right, guys, that's a little Exceleena II arrival, a little cab tech and info, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. All right, I'll talk to you all later. Bye.